Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about decimals greater than 1. So let's get started. Here we have 5 examples of fractions, that we are going to write as decimals. So we're going to look at the first one here. And if you recall, what you need to do is you divide a numerator. So in this case, 6 divided by 10 gives you the decimal. That will come out to 0.6. So the same applies for every single fraction. Okay, just make sure you take into consideration how many decimal points there are after each number, like after each decimal, how many place value spots there are, because as the numbers change, get bigger, get smaller, the answers will be different. So it's good to keep that in mind. So a perfect example would be with D and E, because you have 7 divided by 10 and now you have 7 divided by 100. So that's going to give you a different answer, obviously, because it's two different numbers. But you'll see here, this one here is 0.7, 0.07. Okay, we'll move on to the next slide. Mixed numbers can also be written as decimals too. So we have 2 and 3/10 equals 2.3. The whole number part is written to the left of the decimal point, and the fraction part is written to the right of the decimal point. So let's write 2 and 4/100ths as a decimal. So first things first, you have a whole number of 2 here. Right away, you know that the answer is going to be 2 decimal something. So now we can ignore the 2 and just focus on our decimal. So what you would do here is the same thing as you did before. 4 divided by 100, it's going to give you 0.04. So in your answer, don't write this part here. Just include this part here. Your answer is 2.04. A few more examples here. So once again, you have 13. So you just write 13 decimal, and then 74. Divide that by 100 equals 0.74. We don't use the 0 in this case because there's already a number over here, 13.74. So we have an 8 here. 6 divided by 10, which is this fraction right here, gives us 0.6. Our answer is 8.6. We got the 9 here, 9 decimal. 6 divided by 100, 0.06. We take this, move it over here. Our answer is 9.06. And lastly, here on this slide, 83 is our whole number. So we just write that down with a decimal. 5 divided by 100 gives us 0.05. Keep this, put it over here, and there is your answer, 83.05. What is the whole number part? So we have our decimal here, 3.14. The whole number is right here. So this is the whole number, it's 3. And the fractional part is the decimal. In this case, it would be 14/100. Remember in an earlier video how we talked about if there are 2 decimal spots after the decimal. So this is tenths. Oops, spelled it wrong, whatever. Hundredths. Okay, that means it's when you see hundredths, it's automatically out of 100. Okay, so that's what you would do in this situation. So this is the whole part, and there's the fractional part right there. Write the decimal as a mixed number. So we have the 2 here, so there it is. This right here is just in the tenths column. So you have 7/10. Okay. Whole number is 3 here. This is tenths. I'm making major spelling mistakes today. Oh well. Hundredths. So there's 7 hundredths. Okay. Same here. Switch up the colors. There's your whole number right there. Forward. Oh wait, we're not doing decimals. Oops, sorry, my bad. 4, and then here you have tenths. Okay, and there's no hundredths, so we just pretend that this is not even here. Just pretend this is gone because there's a 0. So it would be 8 over 10. Or if you want to include them both, you can do 4 and 80 over 100. It is the exact same answer. Okay, let's look at this one here. There's our whole number, 235. Tenths is right here. And we have 6 tenths. And the last example, we have 17, which is right here. And again, we just have tenths, 9 tenths. So 17 and 9 tenths. Write the missing words. So let's see what we got here. 4.08, which is 4 and 8 hundredths. 17.6, so this would be 17 and 6 tenths. 16 and, well, we have 5 tenths here. 3 and, well, we have 7 hundredths. 38 and 14 hundredths. 30 and 8 tenths, because this is in the tenths column only. 3 and 8, there's 2 there, so it makes it hundredths. 4 and 17 hundredths. There we go. Okay, so you can come back to this slide for future reference. On to the next one. Write the decimal. So we have 12. When you see the word and means put a decimal. 12 and 13 hundredths. You know hundredths is 2 spots. 13 right there. 5 and 3 tenths. Tenths is 1 spot. So 5.3. 2 and 53 hundredths. 53 hundredths is there because hundredths is 2. 200 and 5 hundredths. Oops. Oh, I made it. Just jumped ahead of myself there. 5 hundredths would be 5 out of 100, which is 0.5 on the decimals. And 205 and 6 tenths would be that, 205.6. Write the improper fraction as a mixed or whole number. So over here, we have to look at how many times is 31, or sorry, how many times is 10 fit evenly into 30. Well, it fits 3 times. Because if you take a calculator and do 31 divided by 10, you're going to get 3.1. So this would be 3 and 1/10. And if you recall the old trick over here, let's move it over here, 3 and 1/10. These two numbers you need to multiply. 10 times 3 equals 30. And then add the answer to the top. 30 plus 1 is 31. 14, well, you have 10 goes into 14 one time. And that would leave you with 4 tenths left over. So if you take here, 10 times 1 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Next one is you have 100 going into 852. Well, it goes in 8 times evenly, 52 over 100. 10 into 73, we know it goes 7 times because 7 times 10 is 70. 8 times 10 is 80, so it can't go in 8 times. That would leave us with 3 tenths. And the last one, 100 into 500, the answer is just 5. change the fraction to a mixed number, and then change the mixed number to a decimal. This is easily done for the decimal if you just do numerator by denominator. And then you get 3 decimal 82. And then from the previous example, 3 is the whole number, 82 is the decimal, or is the fraction. So this is how I would do it. You would literally eliminate one step, and it would just be a little bit quicker. 45 divided by 10 equals 4.5, which equals 4 5/10. That would be for this one here. 402, divide this by 100, is 4.02, 4 and 2 over 100. And the last one would be 637, divide this by 100, gives you 6.37. So you would have 6 and 37 over 100. So there are some examples here. The numerator tells you what number to write, and the denominator tells you how many digits go after the decimal point. So this is stuff that we've been talking about since the beginning of this unit. And the slide says, write the decimal. So once again, simple. 497, divide this by 100, 4.97, 84 divided by 10, 8.4, 604 divided by 100, that gives you 6.04. And the last example today, 307, divide this by 10, you would get 30.7. So thanks for watching this video. Rewatch the parts that you may find confusing. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.